Hello everyone, I'm here with Harper, and today I'm going to talk about just a few rat health kind of things, and then at the end of the video, so that people who aren't subscribed or that know a lot about the rats don't have to, hang in there until I stop talking about it, but that didn't really make much sense. At the end of the video, I'm going to be talking about Ginny and what happened, and how that relates to rat health in general. So, the first thing I'm going to talk about is porphyrin, and that is something that a lot of rat owners, first-time rat owners, they just don't know what it is, and they freak out, and it's important to know because you'll see it on most rats. Pippa's already inside, by the way. That was nice, Pippa. Thanks for that. Wow. Wow, that was it, I guess. Well, there you go. That's a rat for you. Anyways, so porphyrin is, to a lot of people it looks like blood, but it's actually a much more watered down kind of substance, but it is red and it kind of looks like it from afar. So what happens is when a rat is sick or in a lot of stress, they will excrete this thing called porphyrin around their nose or their eyes. Or their eyes. So a lot of times what happens is if they will get upper respiratory infections or things like that, you'll see that they'll have this porphyrin a lot around their noses. Some rats will kind of just excrete a little bit of it normally. That's totally fine. So what I recommend is if you see it at first and there's other symptoms involved, like a lot of sneezing, if they're making sounds, if their lungs are making sounds, then I would definitely take your rat to the vet. So like Ginny used to wake up with porphyrin on her nose most of the time whenever she woke up, and it would just be a little bit. And I learned that that was normal for her. Hi, Harper. And Chiquita used to be the same way, and both of them used to get a lot of upper respiratory infections. So it is definitely correlated with that, but some rats do excrete more than others. Harper wants the spotlight back. So yeah, that's porphyrin. So takeaway message from that: if you see it, don't freak out. But if you see a lot of it, then you might need to be a little bit concerned. But it's not blood, so don't worry about that. A second thing I want to talk about is hi, Harper. You see her booksin? That's totally normal, too. And her eyes will pop out. Let's see if we can get it. No. Can't get it. Alright, so, sorry. I'm really easily distracted by these guys, as you could tell. The other thing I want to talk about is rat lifespans. I've had a lot of people asking me about that. The general kind of consensus about it is 2 to 3 years. I think that 3 years is really high. I like to say more like 2 to 2.5 years. And of course there's rats so Ginny just passed, and she was a month past her first year birthday, so she just turned a year old. Some of you guys know about Dapple that I had, who was 5 months old when she passed. Both of those were from bad genetics and other external factors, but the fact is that they didn't last as long as we would have liked. But funny enough, my longest living rat that I ever owned was Raya, who was a 600-gram female rat, and she ended up living till she was 2 years and 6 months, and that is the longest any of my rats have ever lived. Most of the other ones, the average time is actually, weirdly enough, 2 years and 2 months. That seems to be a pretty common one. It seems like when they reach 2, then they kind of start going downhill, and you'll notice some old rat problems like hind end degeneration. That's where their back legs start not working correctly. But every rat's different with that kind of stuff. Not all rats get that, and but you'll definitely see them slowing down. And again, I'm not a vet, so I'm not gonna comment too much about like real health problems with rats, but just kind of the general stuff. And that brings me to my next point. If you have any doubts about if you're thinking in your head, maybe I should take my rat to the vet, you should take your rat to the vet. So Ginny passed. She got sick and died all within 24 hours. She was completely fine, and then 24 hours later, I found her in the cage, already passed. I mean, that's pretty crazy. They are so fragile, and they are just so fragile. They've got tiny bodies, and bad genetics has also made them have a lot of health problems that really is purely based on bad genetics. A lot of the respiratory problems, I mean, it's pretty hard to get a rat that doesn't have some kind of respiratory issue sometime in their life. It's just kind of a thing that comes along with owning rats. So respiratory problems are a big deal. Also cancer, especially in female rats. A lot of times they'll get tumors. So I had one rat, Phoebe, who had 3 tumors when we had to put her to sleep, and the tumors were so big. Not really, I mean, they were big, but they were also in a place that she was no longer able to walk. So sometimes you can tell right away when they get a tumor. Other times it might be a bit deeper, and but you can definitely feel it inside. So what I do is, since I have all females, I will flip them over and just kind of pat their bellies every once in a while, and just do a tumor check, we call it, or a tummy check. But most of the time they get it by their mammary glands, and that's why some people like to spay their rats. I have never had any spayed rats, but some people are pretty strongly for spaying rats. So I'm not going to comment on if I think it should happen or not, but some people have asked if I've ever had them, and the answer is no. I have never owned a spayed rat. So there you go. There's an answer to a lot of questions. So I guess now, I'll talk a little bit about what happened with Ginny. Now it's getting a little bit later in the video. Like I said before, she was completely fine one day. The next day, we took her out, and she was very limp and was making all sorts of terrible noises when she breathed, and she was having trouble breathing. So I took her back to school with me, where I had my antibiotics. I like to have antibiotics on hand for times like that. And so gave her some antibiotics. I spent a lot of hours with her, and she was getting kind of worse. But I ended up putting her back in the cage and going to bed. Woke up and she was laying right there, and she had already passed. sometime during the night. So yeah, it was very, very quick. We believe it was heart failure. She displayed a lot of the same symptoms that Dapple had, and that's what she died from. We don't know exactly what caused, the illness in the beginning, but Ginny did not have the strongest respiratory system by any means. A lot of you guys have noticed that in the video she sneezes a lot, and that was very normal Ginny. But she has had upper respiratory infections before, so there have been times where she sneezed constantly, and that's when you could tell when she was sick. But this time she wasn't sneezing. It wasn't anything like that, so we don't think it was an upper respiratory infection. If anything, it might have been pneumonia. That is something that will take rats very quickly, and is a problem. So that's what happened with Ginny. Thanks everyone for the kind comments. I got a lot of nice comments about it, so thank you. I've also gotten a lot of questions, and I know that you are thinking it right now, but no, I am not going to get another rat right now. I just got Harper and Pip. No Pippa there. And the reason that I'm not going to at this moment is because I'm almost done with my last semester at college, and I will be moving back in with my parents. And then hopefully in a couple months I'll be going to graduate school, and we don't know if I will still be living at home, or if I will have to get a place, or if I will be living on campus, or what, we're not sure. So since I don't have a stable future plan right now, we're just gonna stick with these two. If anything happened to one of these guys right now, I would probably get one more, only because I would not keep a rat alone. You guys can watch my other video for reasons on that. And these guys aren't even one yet. Pippa's birthday is coming up in February, and she will be one, and then Harper will be one in April. But so they're really young. So Ginny was the oldest, so she did make it to her first birthday, so that's good. But so yeah, so no other rats for now. Now we just got a cage full of Dumbos. Oh goodness, you can't even see Harper. It's so dark. But yeah, so I hope you guys get some good information from this video. I really want to end the video just saying that if you have a comment about your rat's health or anything like that, I'm going to say the same thing to every single comment, and that's going to be, if you have doubts, take your rat to the vet. I honestly don't know much about rat health, except for what I have gained an experience just from being, a rat owner. But, I worked at a vet once, but as a kennel worker, so I cleaned cages. But I don't have any kind of training or anything, so I really am not qualified to give you guys any kind of advice on that kind of stuff. So, I really, I hate to get those comments because I can't really help in any way except for to say, please go see a vet. So, yeah, if you guys have any other questions, so I'm more than happy to answer them. It might take me a little bit. I am a college student, but I think I'm pretty good about answering questions. So, so yeah, I think that's it. This video is kind of long, but I wanted to give you guys an update about Ginny. So, thanks for watching. Bye!